It doesn't matter how much of an effort you make to find peace in your life if you have the wrong people in your life. In this video, I'm breaking down 5 types of people you need to cut off if you want peace, growth, and sanity, especially as an introvert. I'm talking about the people that drain your energy, disrespect your space, and block you from being the best version of yourself. I know you may have known some of these people for years, but if you find yourself in a position where you're always feeling drained, you're feeling uninspired, and you're asking yourself, why do I continue to experience these same problems, these same cycles? It's because you have not taken the initiative to cut these people out of your life. By the way, my name is Dre. I make content to empower introverts. And in general, I just like to help people find their peace and find their purpose. So if that's something you can relate to, please take a moment to like this video, hit that subscribe button. I would certainly appreciate it. Now let's get into it. We're gonna give each kind of person a name/label. That way you guys can easily remember it and be able to identify if any of these types of people are in your life. Number 1 is the boundary breaker. And this is obviously the person who does not respect the boundaries or the limits that you've set for yourself. This could be someone who pressures you to go out even when you've said no. This could be someone who keeps calling or texting you nonstop even when you've asked for space. Or it could be someone who makes you feel guilty for needing alone time. Remember, as introverts, we need to recharge in solitude. So if someone is blatantly ignoring that boundary you've set for yourself, that need for alone time, then they are literally draining the energy, the life out of you. They treat your solitude like it's a problem to fix instead of a need to respect. For example, you may have a friend who is constantly pressuring you to go out to a party. Maybe they think that you need to get out of your shell. They think that your quiet nature is something that they need to fix. And you've expressed to them already that, hey, I just don't really enjoy going to parties like that. Or maybe there's a friend or a family member who routinely shows up to your home unannounced. And you've expressed to them, hey, I don't do this. I need to know ahead of time. It happened to me, actually. I can think of this one individual who I had known for most of my life, and maybe that's the reason they felt comfortable doing so, but they tried a few times showing up to my place unannounced. And so I expressed to them like, hey, that's not my thing. And they knew my personality, but one day they tried it again. They were knocking on the door. My car was in the driveway. I was clearly at home, but I sat on the couch and I continued watching TV. I didn't go open the door. And so after that, the person never did that again. So I'm sure they got the message. But sometimes you have to protect that boundary, protect that peace. When it comes to setting boundaries in your life, it's not about building walls. It's about building safe spaces in your life. If you have one of those boundary breakers in your life, even after you've tried time and time again to express what you needed, it is time to give them the boot so that you can thrive. The second type of person to cut off in your life if you want to thrive is the drama magnet. Not only do these people live in a constant state of chaos, but also they want company. Whether it's with a friend, a family member, a coworker, they are always involved in some type of conflict. And the problem or dramatic situation that they're in has absolutely nothing to do with you. You could be minding your business, but somehow you catch a stray. Somehow your name gets thrown in the mix. These kinds of people are typically loud, intense, very reactive. Maybe you do have some type of history or connection with that person, or maybe they are physically in close proximity to you, but their actions and their reactions have a direct impact on your life in a negative way. Also, these kinds of people love to vent, but they are not interested in solutions. What can happen too sometimes if you have one of these drama magnets in your life is that that person can be, again, in a sticky or troublesome situation. And again, you got nothing to do with this, but they expect you to have their back 100%, even though you can see that they're in the wrong. So it's best to just avoid this type of person altogether. Cut them off. Being an introvert especially, you already process things deeply, so you don't need that extra emotional weight that you never asked for. The third kind of person that you should cut off immediately if you are ready to thrive in your life is the one-sided friend or the one-sided relationship, however you want to call it. You do all the listening, all the supporting, all the showing up, but they never meet you halfway. They treat you like their own personal therapist. And I can tell you guys from personal experience, if I made $1 for every free minute of therapy I have given to a one-sided person, I would be a millionaire right now. And what's ironic about these one-sided relationships is that when you try to open up or be vulnerable or share something that's personal to you, it's crickets. They don't have anything to say. In fact, they steer the conversation back to being something about themselves. I know for me, I can think of one person in particular who I actually grew up with, I was very close with, and as this person got older, they started having a lot of different issues. And so me being the person that I am, I did everything I could to try to help this person through it. I would spend hours sometimes on the phone with them as they vented to me about everything that they were going through, personal stuff with their family, things like that. And, you know, I had a lot going on at the time. I was in school, I was in a relationship, and I got to a point where it was getting so draining listening to all of this negativity. And not only was this person negative, but after consuming so much of my time, I'm talking like years of trying to help this person through it, is that eventually I started to realize that I found myself giving the same advice over and over again. And that's when I came to the realization that this person didn't really want to change. They just like to vent, blame everyone for their problems, and just drown in their misery. So ultimately I had to cut this person off. And it wasn't easy because it's, again, like I said, was someone I grew up with. We had went through a lot together, but as we got older, we just kind of went different paths. And I know for some introverts, it can be tough for you to cut people off because we are thoughtful, we are empathetic, and naturally supportive. But you cannot exist or thrive, for that matter, if you are someone's emotional dumpster. The fourth kind of person that you gotta cut off right away, and a lot of you guys already are familiar with this type of person, but it is the energy vampire. Someone who is emotionally exhausting to be around. They always have negative things to say. They're always gossiping, complaining, or criticizing. You don't even have to talk to them, but by just being around them, you feel drained. Listen, negativity is not a personality trait. You don't have to make that your normal. Out of all the types of people that I talked about today, the energy vampire is the most dangerous, so make sure to cut them out of your life. The fifth type of person that you gotta snip from your life is the non-believer. They can't see your vision and they don't want to. If you're an introvert out there watching this, there is also a good chance that you are a big dreamer. We think deeply, we create internally, and a lot of times we have these big visions for the future. As introverts, we're already protective over what we share with other people. So you don't want to put yourself in a position to where you do decide to share that big goal or big vision of yours and that person just dismisses it. Maybe they think that what you said is unrealistic or that you're not capable of doing it. They may not say it directly, but kind of talk around it. This is personally the one that I take the most serious because I've been in environments with non-believers and it can really hold you back if you're not careful. I'm somebody who is a big dreamer. I'm always motivated to change the world, so I have to really regulate who I'm around. Just remember that when it comes to the non-believer, it is not because your dream is too big, but it is because their mindset is too small. And that's it, guys. I just gave you the 5 types of people you should immediately cut out of your life if you are ready to thrive, if you are ready to find peace, growth, happiness, success in your life. Then take notes on this video and apply it to your life. And I just want to leave you guys with this quote. I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard this quote before. I myself, I've heard it a number of times, but whenever I do hear it, it always makes me stop and think. And the quote is, "You are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with." So think about those 5 people in your life. Ask yourself, are these people in my life, are they draining my energy or are they inspiring new energy within me? When it comes to cutting people off, it's not about being cold or harsh. It's about being clear. Clear about your values, clear about your peace, and clear about your space. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you made it this far, don't forget to like and subscribe. And please let me know down below in the comments, do you have someone in your life that you are trying to cut off? I'll see you guys again soon.